Cafe Cabaret. I'm sorry I don't have this enormous logo here. I suppose I could just write it for you now. But this is The Wrong Hero in Urban Idiot, and you are tuned to Cafe Cabaret, and I don't know what else there is to say. This is Channel 55, as you're probably well aware, and this program, Cafe Cabaret, is broadcast every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on Channel 55, and every week we have The Wrong Hero, and this week it's The Wrong Hero in his award-winning presentation, Urban Idiot.
Let's start that again. Never have I heard a more touching testimonial to the power of the spoken word.
Oh, no, don't start that again. Oh.
I know. He's so kind. I can tell. You have a kind face. You look like my cousin Bob, except my cousin Bob is like 6'4". He wears size 15 shoes, and he's from Pittsburgh. You're 6'4". You don't wear size 15s. Close 13s. See? You just played in Pittsburgh. Where? Electric Banana? Oh, well, you know, Electric Banana, with a name like that, what did you expect? It's the kind of place where the owner keeps a shotgun behind the bar. And when he doesn't like the band, he like fires off a round into the ceiling, you know, just to liven things up. Of course, when AC played there, you couldn't tell what was the shotgun firing and what was the AC performing on stage.
What are you talking about?
I don't know, man. Tobacco juice dribbles out of both sides of my mouth, so you know I'm level-headed, man, you know? Oh, I'll tell you. Well, you guys load off, you know, because I don't want to keep you or anything. I'm sure you have to go up to, I don't know, Peace River up in Canada for your next paying gig here. I don't know if this is going to be a paying gig, come to think of it. Although there's Joseph over there, he's grinning. From the looks on his face there. Oh yeah, you guys will get a case of Ensure for your participation in this event tonight. So, anyway, you know, the reason I'm getting up here at the end of the show, you know, everybody's dying to go home and they hate me, is that this is my comeback tour. Not that I was ever really very famous, except, of course, in the late 60s I had a hit single, Homosexual Truck Driving Man, and not that I ever really went anywhere, except I spent 15 years in a suspended animation, but nonetheless, this is my comeback tour. And you know, I'm the wrong hero, and my role in life is not to tickle the sores of a fickle mob. But, on the other hand, a gig's a gig, you know, and, oh well, we're doing it again, guys, it's sort of ongoing talking, you know, behind the person on stage. I should have gone up behind them, right, and then sort of going, Frank Higgins on the soundboard. It's like old home week here because he always gives me the greatest sound effects. Hey, you ever notice that any thrash song could be a government warning? You know, like cross sector green, not in between, hey, you know, or Surgeon General warning, cigarette smoking may be hazardous to your health, hey. You know, so that's what this is great. This is like stereo sound here because I got this ongoing chatter from me on the other hand. And we got this stereo sound, 4-track recording, music, you know, stuff like that. Excuse me, guys. Can I finish this, please? You know, the reason I'm wearing this outfit, you might be interested to know, is, well, if the jokes are really great, then I am the greatest comedian of my generation. If they really suck, I'm a performance artist, you know? I mean, so that's the way it works out. Now, you know, stage etiquette demands that you stand 9 inches away from the microphone. Now, how do I measure 9 inches? Yeah, right. Well, you know, my dog's bigger than your dog. Actually, my God's bigger than your God. You know what? Because my God eats eternity ration. Just thought you'd like to know that. Oh, well, I'd like you to know also that this episode of The Wrong Hero is being brought to you by Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Soup. It's a real Hebrew, if you know what I mean. It's also being brought to you by excrement. If you feel like shit, chew excrement. Oh, excrement. Oh, excrement. It's also being brought to you by sacrament. Gets the smell of choir boy off your breath fast. It's also brought to you by No Look. Pagans? Do you eat locusts? Do locusts stain your teeth? Stain your teeth? Try this simple test. Try this simple test. Breathe into the shroud of Turin. The shroud of Turin. If it turns brown, you need no look. The brown needs no finish. Comes in regular, peppermint, and new gall and wormwood flavors. Oh man, well you know, I've completely lost my faith in religion. Hey Mike, give me some more varied sound effects here if you're going to do that, okay?
Very?
Well, you know, like incredibly long to or yeah, you can give the chipmunk's voice. It's had in years, I think. Well, anyway, I've completely lost my faith in science and I'm sorry, religion, and I no longer even subscribe to Scientific American. Now I subscribe to Superstitious Caveman. And the first issue stated 1 million BC. We got all these great articles like fire, bad, and sacrificing your firstborn to the angry sun god, and art assholes, things like that. You know, I'm thinking, you know, not so much about Christmas now, since Christmas is over, but the aftermath of Christmas. When you're really disappointed with your Christmas presents. But then I think back to the Prince of Peace, who was born in a manger in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago, and what he said on the day after Christmas. You idiot! I said gold, silver, and platinum! What's this in frankincense and yours? This place smells like heifer farts! What's going on here? Get that thrower boy out of my face! He's breaking my stuff! And Dad, listen, you're a carpenter, right? Next time, sit in the manger! I'm gonna split it on my ass! Hey, Mom, close that door! What were you, raised in a barn? Anyway, I'd like to share with you an introspective little tidbit. My most embarrassing moment. It was when I was being crucified on the cross and the Roman centurion offered me a spot soaked in wine. And I had to admit that I was a recovering alcoholic. You know, there's this preacher down south and he has these signs he holds up and say, God hates homosexuals. You know, what they don't tell you, though, is that Jesus thinks some of them are kind of cute. You know, because, he hung out with 12 guys, and they were sailors and stuff, and we all know about sailors, so, I mean, what can I say? Anyway, I'm a real hero, and I want the government to outlaw me, so I can be sold for $20 a gram in front of housing projects. That would really make my day. Now, I'm going to do a really dangerous impression now. $20 a gram. Yeah, where you been, Mike? You? I'm going to do an impression. I'm going to do it a speciometer. 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 You know, I went from 0 to 60 in 9 seconds. And now I'm 99 years old. And you know, the cops are playing a new game. It's called Ghetto Monopoly. And all the cards say, go directly to jail. So that's nice. You know, what's got me really pissed off is, besides these sound effects, is the Saturn car. You know, what were these marketing geniuses thinking when they thought up the name of the Saturn car? Well, what do we call our new car? Call it Mars? No, too worldly. We'll call it Venus? No, it just appeals to the female market. I know. We'll call it Saturn. The figure in Roman mythology who devours his own children. Great name for a fucking car. We'll call it Saturn. Here's the keys to your new car, son. Gee, thanks, Dad. Now that reminds reminds me of my dog. Don't ask me what. You know, they say a dog is a man's best friend. And I'm like, yeah, sure. All my best friends piss in the corner. All of my best friends vomit kibbles and bits onto the linoleum. And all of my best friends beg for treats with their genitalia exposed, you know? This dog's my best friend, all right. By the way, I have a secret to share with you. I glued my balls together. I figured if you can't lick them, join them, you know? You know, it's funny, I worked in a coffee house for years, and the thing is, I really hate coffee, you know? Because, I don't need coffee. I already have a bitter taste in my mouth first, in my mouth first! I'd like to talk a little bit about my sex life. Well, actually, I did my laundry the other day. My laundry is sort of like my sex life because happens twice a year, weighs 200 pounds. Yeah, it takes 12 hours. Costs about $20. You know? So anyway, I'll actually.
I heard that joke over 100 times.
And well, you might have. It's one of the best ones in my arsenal. Of humor. I could get into the motifs of humor with you, although I doubt you're really.
We don't have enough time for that.
No, I gotta wrap this up. Well, you know, I proposed to my girlfriend. Here's one you haven't heard because it's brand spanking new. I proposed to my girlfriend, but you know, she said it wasn't very romantic. I think it had something to do with the fact that I proposed to her in the voice of Astro from the Jetsons. You know, like, I love you, Rary. And I might have gotten away with it, except that I referred to her as George. You know, so that didn't work too well. So, well, anyway, I think she's going to break up with me pretty soon. And I'm in the market for finding a new girlfriend. But problem is, all my pickup lines are like kind of lame. You know, like I believe that you and me were together in a past life, and you owe me money. Or hey, yo, babe, what's your fucking sign? Huh? Or the triple threat. I don't believe in leaving a tip. I like to leave Jehovah's Witness pamphlets on the bar instead. And I don't like to give get well cards because the relatives of sick people have been handling them, and I might get some terrible disease that I don't already have. Oh, and by the way, I also don't use mouthwash because mouthwash only kills the weak germs, and I don't want to walk around with a mouthful of strong germs.
There's a guy knocking on the back door. Should we let him in?
Well, open the door and let him in. Oh God, Paul McCartney. You know, whenever I see his big Walter Key eyes, I just want to stick a big needle in him and deflate them. I don't know what to say. Anyway, I had a girlfriend and she was really nice to me for the first 3 months until she realized that I hadn't changed my pants in that entire time. Now, you know, music, you know, this is a musical venue. I should talk a little bit about music before I go. You know that song? Every little breeze seems to whisper Louise. I'm like, make it stop! Make it stop! Make it stop! Well, you know, and Dean Martin passed away on Christmas Day, which is really sad, but Dean Martin will live forever in the persona of the cartoon animal Sugar Bear. You know? They are one and the same. It's like, can't get over the sugar cruise, that's alright. You know, so it's not that sad because the guy is immortal. Now, when I was in 6th grade, at lunchtime we used to get to play music during our lunch break, which was like maybe about 20 minutes long, so we're like, and the trouble is that there were 2 factions in our school. One was like the Soul Brothers, and the other were the Greasers. And the Soul Brothers all wanted to hear War by Edwin Starr, kind of dates me. And the Greasers all wanted to hear Blue Velvet. So every lunchtime was something like, 1, 2, she wore blue velvet. What is it good for? Whoa, whoa. You know, that was a real schizophrenic experience. And, you know, I was thinking about that song that Fats Domino does. I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. You know, if I weighed 300 pounds and I saw a hill made entirely out of blueberries, I'd get a pretty large charge out of that myself.
Maybe a hill on which blueberry bushes grow.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for elucidating. I know I thought it was actually a physical hill made out of blueberries, which is where they mine it, you know, for blueberry morning.
Grow on bushes.
All those failed cereals. Don't you ever feel sad for all of the failed cereals? The Spider-Man cereal, you don't see that much anymore. It's really too bad. Well, but that gets me thinking about Chubby Checker. You know how Chubby Checker got his name? It was based on Fats Domino. So, but the thing is, you know, the record company executive's wife came up with it. But if she had thought for a minute more, she might have called him something like obese chest, or I don't know, arteriosclerotic backgammon, or only Audrey's bingo, or something like that. So, you know, but for a simple twisted fate. Music, I don't know. Like country and western music. You know, to me, country and western music is always sounded like a soap opera for drunks. You know, like as the world spins. And bluegrass music, and the country music that preceded it, you know, there's some really heavy lyrics in bluegrass music, like, I thought his name was Rover, when he died all over. Now just think of the implications of that for a minute. And the blues. Everything that comes out of like a blues musician's mouth is freighted with grief. They must be the world's saddest men. It's like, little boy blue, come blow your horn. The sheep's in the meadow, the cows in the corn. Little boy blue, baby blues, come blow your horn. Blues lyrics, they haunt me, you know. Like try singing this to your girlfriend. Well, you say you're caught and you won't get out and sing Lord. And, geez, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't know nothing, man. I don't know nothing. Well, this episode of Raw Hair is brought to you by the penis. Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. But men like it too. Don't forget that. And by Santa Claus Death Candy. Buy it or the fat man dies. I'm not kidding, man. And, now, I'd like to do another impression. It sort of reminds me of how this set is going. Water circling down the drain. Went to a high school reunion, and I went to see where I had carved my initials years ago. But unfortunately, the gym coach was wearing a toupee. It's really hellish going to your high school reunion because like all of your former classmates are married and they have children. You're always bragging about how smart they are. And I'm like, what do I have to brag about? You know, I left some ejaculate on a handkerchief last night, and it smelled like a petunia. Actually, it smells more like Oysters Rockefeller, but let's not get into that. Well, the whole reason I'm a comedian actually is that I flunked metal shop in high school. I mean, that's the long and the short of it, really. And I'm a failed writer. I had a job writing children's books.
You're a failed comedian.
Hey, thanks, pal. Just a sort of moral backup I need in these times of trouble. Well, yeah, I had a job writing children's books, but I got fired for using the word poop. And they didn't like my masterpiece. What do you do, shit? So, it didn't work out. I was a failed impresario for a while, too.
Failed you?
Yeah, me, because I'm the wrong hero. Say, here's $100. Go out and buy yourself some nuts. I like to see my boys looking sharp. Yeah, see? Anyway, I wanted to put on a production of Tennessee Williams' Streetcar Named Desire, but I thought I'd jazz it up a little, so I called it Fucking Trolley Sluts, Triple X. Hey, now that the music's over, I can take these things out of my ear. Great. Hey, now I sound like I'm human again. You know, I'm strong as an ox. I got worms in my belly, flies in my ears, and I smell like raw sewage. But I'm also as wise as an owl. I have a flat face, I hoot a lot, and I endorse my own line of greasy potato chips. You know, another thing I should tell you before I go. I like to to spend hours in the bathtub. No, the bathtub. And sometimes I even put water in there. I don't know, it's a sad life. My father was a meat and potatoes man. Okay. My father was a meat and potatoes man. His arms were made of French fries and his legs were made of steak. And I looked at him and I'd say, "What kind of nightmare world is this you brought me into?" Yeah, she used to sing little nursery rhymes to me like, round and round the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. This is my vision of hell.
Hell, ours too. No dying. Goddamn.
All right. God damn. I haven't heard that since I've been back in Pittsburgh. Hey, listen. You know, I don't knock the garbage can out of your hand when you're trying to do your job, all right? Yeah. All right, then I will close with a word thanking my sponsors. Yes, I do. Move over butter, fuck off margarine, and die, lard, die. And also the fine line of blubber products. Blubber, blubber light, blubber clear, fat-free blubber, free-range blubber, country time blubber, my little blubber, pick up blubber, Mighty Morphin Power blubber, blubber come back to me, Teenage Mutant Ninja blubber, and of course, I can't believe it's not blubber. I'm the wrong you, and you are beginning to annoy me. Yeah, because you make me nervous. Because you're evil.
Hi, I'm the wrong hero. There, that's better. Hi, I'm the wrong hero. And as usual, on account of my incredibly busy schedule, I thought maybe I would try something a little new and different. Well, anyway, new to me. Now, some of you might be thinking that this thing I'm about to try is very much like Beavis and Butthead, but I will have you know that Tom Blue had this idea many years ago. Of course, we never did anything with it, but here it is. Now, in order to fully let you in on a little secret here, one of my jobs in my civilian identity is that of a journalist, and as a matter of fact, I am a rock critic for a locally prominent fanzine, and I do their demo tape reviews under a pseudonym, and unfortunately the deadline's coming up for both this program and the TV show, and because of that, I'm not really stuttering and stammering while I perfect my bullshit rap. This is all just an elaborate act. This thing's about to fall off. This microphone and eyepiece holder. Of course, I could just plug my own microphone in here, and it wouldn't much matter. I wouldn't need the damn thing. But Anyway, the couch is falling apart. Everything falls apart in this place. It's entropy. You ever see those commercials? Instead of spraying 50 times, you can just get a little piece of shit and spray it once and goddamn, it's like I have a window in the place. Even if you live in a tumble down shack. Well, this is good. I've discovered that, instead of buying those mingy little packets of oatmeal with the, the microwavable oatmeal, the kind of stuff that, you can't just add the hot water. You gotta actually microwave the whole thing. You don't have to buy those little packets for $2.49 for 10 little 1.5 ounce packets. You just get a whole box of oats and do the same thing. You end up saving yourself a bundle. I'm telling you, no one is second to the wrong hero when it comes to saving money. Anyway, I should tell you a little about this program. This program will be broadcast on December 3rd. However, it is now the 21st of November, which leaves me less than 2 weeks, significantly less than 2 weeks, to get this thing to the, finish this thing up and get it to the studio. And now, tomorrow is about the only day I can do it. The following week, I won't even be in town on Friday or any other day of the week. I neglected to, I forgot it was the Thanksgiving holiday, and I was like putting this off, and I thought maybe I would just, fill it with archival material, but even assembling the archival material takes an enormous amount of time. It is enormously time consuming. And so, I thought, well, why not kill two birds with one stone? You have all these demos that you have to get reviewed by, the deadline's like the 24th or something, ridiculous like that, and, or the 26th or the 27th, and again, reviewing demos, I think that's very time consuming too. I mean, it takes hours to review the things, it takes hours to type the reviews, and, then you gotta send it off, and so the deadline kind of creeps up on you, and once it does, bam, that's it. I mean, it's a big rush. So, generally, when you read reviews of demos, not that that's like such a commonplace thing. I think there's only like 3 places that actually will review every demo you send them around here. The reviews towards the end tend to be a little less scintillating, and that's probably because of the deadline. I mean, it's just an enormous pain in the ass to wade your way through all these crummy demos. And the thing is, it's not even so bad, because you can be witty at their expense, but then you got to pay attention to the good ones too, and that's really what's time consuming, because sometimes you actually have to listen to the demos more than once, which, believe me, something I try to avoid doing. So, anyway, in keeping with this grand tradition of doing incredibly weird stuff just to pass the time, like chewing on oatmeal. Oh, and here's another thing. You get the oatmeal, it's kind of blah. There are ways to jazz it up. One is to, here's what you do. You get like about a cup and a half of oats, and you put it in a big cup like this, and then you get maybe, I don't know, 2 cups of skim milk instead of water, and you put it in the microwave and cook it for 3 minutes. That pretty much does it. The oats are reasonably well cooked. You don't have to cook the life out of them, I mean, it's okay if they're a little chewy. I mean, it's not going to kill you. Oats are very good for you. They have lots of fiber. Americans don't get nearly enough fiber in their diets. And, I mean, oats aren't the universal cure-all panacea that the oat people want you to believe, but they can't hurt. And you get some figs, right? I prefer the chopped figs myself. The Sunsweet chopped figs in um, the 10-ounce canister. Now it's kind of hard to find them. They're usually in the produce section of somewhere like Stop and Shop or Star Market or something. Now here's a hint. If you happen to have the double or triple coupons, you pry open the lid of the canister and voila, there's a coupon for 35% off. So there you go. Instead of $2, you just pay $1.30 or even 95 cents for a 10-ounce container of figs. Now, you bring these figs home, you sort of, slouch into your evil, sinister den or warren, and you sprinkle some figs on the oats and skim milk, and pretty tasty meal, and at 1/5 the cost of the prepackaged variety. Well, I don't know about that. I haven't prorated, this, that, and the other thing, but I'm sure it costs less. In the long run, I don't feel like doing these complicated mathematical formulae right now. As you may be able to tell, I just got up, and I forced myself to get up, in fact, for the sole purpose of doing this. The thing is, I got like 2 more tapes to do after this. One of them is just throwing a title on it, it's no big deal. But then there's another one, it's like an hour and a half long. I gotta be at work at 1. It's 8:55 now. You figure it out. I'm on a very tight schedule. Plus, I was hoping to go to the market. Use up the last of my triple coupons. May have to wait until afterwards to do that. I've been having problems with my truck. I'm sure you want to hear about it. Basically, the 15 amp fuse that regulates the blinkers, the fuel gauge, and the battery light, and something else, oh yeah, the brake light, keeps blowing. And took it to the battery place. He replaced the battery. I'm not entirely sure that was entirely necessary, but I had him do it anyway. And he said, well, if the fuse keeps blowing, take it to this guy, Frank, of Frank's Electric on Niantic Avenue on the Providence-Cranston border. Had him look at it. So it does keep blowing, so I dutifully go to Frank. I call him up and I say, hi Frank, my name's Frank too. I got this truck, it's giving me problems. Can I bring it in? You're sort of brought in this husky, hearty voice, because you don't want to think you're a wimp. And so he said, okay. So yesterday morning about 9 a.m., well actually 8:30 a.m., I dragged myself out of bed. I'm there by about 9:15. There's about 4 people all squabbling in line, trying to get at this guy. So I go wait in the truck. I'm reading an issue of Pulse magazine. He comes up from behind me and startles me, and well, then we go through all these diagnostics, and he can't figure out exactly what the problem is, except that he thinks that it's the wiring underneath the flatbed of the pickup truck that leads to the rear blinkers. That might possibly be the problem, but he's a little mom and pop type place, and he doesn't have a lift, and so he can't get under the truck and look. So he sends me on my merry way with a few spare fuses, and only charges me $2 and tells me that I should put a 10 amp circuit breaker in and see what happens. So, I go to Betty's and I get a 10 amp circuit breaker, but it's the wrong kind. It's got the curled blade instead of the long blade. So I had to go back in there and get the one with the long blade, and then I try every possible permutation. Like I take the blown fuse out, put a new one in, and put the 10 amp circuit breaker in next to it. That doesn't work. So I take the blown fuse out, put the 10 amp circuit breaker in where the 15 amp should be, and it starts heating up like crazy, and it doesn't work either. So I take it out, and then I put a 15 amp fuse in the place where the other ones had blown, but I put it in upside down, and strangely enough, it hasn't blown since. So I can't figure this out. Of course, I've been very punctilious about not going over bumps and not deliberately, riding in ditches and stuff. So who knows? Anyway, I got a box of spare fuses that'll probably last me the weekend. But if this problem continues, I suppose I'll have to take it somewhere else, or have my girlfriend's brother look at it, or something. What was the point I was getting at here? I don't think there really was a point. I mean, this isn't really very funny, now is it? But anyway, so just to let you know, that's my schedule's been kind of on the tight side. So then I leave this guy's place. I still have time to do some shopping, so I go to this Edwards store. Man, I get such great deals there. I walk in there, I get $12 worth of stuff, and it costs me like $3 because I got these triple coupons. But they're actually giving me money to take this stuff away. It's just too much. Like, I sell a toothbrush for $1.99. I got a 75-cent coupon, so they're actually paying me 25 cents to take this toothbrush away. So, it's pretty cool. Not only can I save money, I can actually spend negative amounts of money. But you gotta rig it a certain way. If you spend less than $5 cumulative, that is to say, before the cost of the coupons, before the coupons get subtracted, then they won't honor it. So you gotta push it up in push up the total a little bit. And with a combination of non-coupon items and coupon items, one way to do it, I guess you could just go in there and buy a gallon of milk for $2.25 or whatever, and get the 5 coupon items. And you don't always get negative amounts of money. You don't always have to you don't always save that much money. Sometimes the items come to $1 or $2, even with the coupon. I try to get stuff for $1 if I can. A pound of coffee, $1. A can of pitted dates, 10 ounces, $1, and so forth. So you get the 5 coupons, that's $5. You get the 5 items, and with the coupon savings, they end up costing you about $1 a piece. Although sometimes you do considerably better. But sometimes you can rig it, so that it comes to exactly $5.01, or even $5. But you can't predict it, you see. So you want to go a little over $5. So, but even if the grand total dips below $5, Edwards will still, they won't give you a hassle. The only time they give you a hassle is when the coupons expire. Stop and Shop does too. But it depends. It depends on whether you've cultivated certain members of the cashier aristocracy. There's some cashiers that are not only really good with the triple coupons, but they won't say anything if they're expired. Where you just cut the dates off, Yesterday I took 5 of them in, and they had all expired, and I all cut the dates off, and they were all different colors too. So he looks at them quizzically, but he decides it's too much hassle, I guess, to call me on it. The women are much more likely to call you on it than the men, particularly if they're management. And he just blithely gives me the items, and so I'm all set. So now I got 5 more to use. And don't believe I don't need them. I'm supposed to make this cranberry cake with a drizzle of confectioner sugar. Hoo boy. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to round up the ingredients for that. And I got a $1 off coupon on 3 cans of cranberry sauce. I got to double the recipe. So that means 2 cans of cranberry sauce, and one of them will sit there for a year. I wonder if they just sell old cranberry sauce from last year. If they were smart, they would constantly redesign their labels so that consumers wouldn't think they're getting fobbed off with last year's unsold cranberry sauce. I guess Ocean Spray is the big cranberry sauce, the king around here. You know, the Indians used to eat cranberries. They put them in pemmican. They provide that extra tang, that spice. Dried cranberries are good, but they're so expensive. Excuse me while I finish my breakfast here. Anyway, like I was saying, kind of running short on time. I got all these things I need to do, and this tape is just one of them. Well, let's see. These demos are priceless. Hi there, says Jason of Hybrid Minds. Well, it seems like I'm moving a little bit ahead of schedule. As you'll recall, my press release of a month ago, which I follow with bated breath, of course, stated that I'd be releasing a CD sometime in January of '97. That still holds true. However, I went to the studio a few weeks ago to put down some rough acoustic versions of songs and was pleasantly surprised at the outcome. So surprised that I decided to release a tidbit of material for listening until January. I am going to be sitting here listening to this until January. Recorded live straight to tape, no overdubs, not perfect taste, doesn't matter, I'm thrilled, very stripped down, more accurate representation of my true voice. The true Jason, uninhibited by the confines of Hybrid Minds. Second Skin is basically about trying to show one's true self to an emotionally unavailable person. Those out there who are truly perceptive will know who the subject matter is. Huh? It is not a love song. Closure, well, that song is self-explanatory. I'd like to stay away from the Unplugged label because some of the songs on the upcoming release will indeed be stripped down. So, please, put this tape into your Walkman and allow me to take you for a reflective ride. This is a non sequitur here. Thanks, enjoy, and I'll see you in January. I hate people that say enjoy. Don't you? Okay, so we'll put Jason aside here. And let's see what his little acoustic masterpiece consists of. I'll tell you, these better to not even include any information at all, other than the most bare statistics, than to write a really jive. Oh, and here's another one. These sweethearts who put the song titles together, but they run them all together to create an artistic effect. You can't even tell how many fucking songs there are. These songs, well, at least there's more than one. Sick, Mr. Underground, Third Floor, Giddy. That would be one hell of a title if it were one song. Sick, Mr. Underground, Third Floor, Giddy. But I think it's actually 4 songs. After a while, you sort of get the knack for these types of things. Sick, Mr. Underground, Third Floor, and Giddy. Well, I bet you they got a real swell press release here. It's not one of those personalized ones, though. It's just stuff we have out. The Mitchell. This story could be written in the third person and give the impression like we have a press agent. But really, who are we trying to kid? Well, not me. UMass Amherst, each from different areas in Mass. Western Mass. Full-time college. Rock Hunt. These Rock Hunt competitions. Rock Hunt. Promotional copy of our new cassette EP. Alright. Being the commercial juggernauts we are, we decided reaching more people is more important than indie credibility. So we released a promotional copy of their new cassette EP. In other words, it's just a fucking demo, but they're trying to fob it off as like an official release. So, okay. Fur. 3-piece. You know, people who put their pets on the cover of tape boxes for review. What can I say? What can I say? I'm not going to say anything. You know, I mean, I like animals as much as anybody else, but there's a difference between, like, I mean, it's not businesslike. Would you put a fucking furry kitten on your resume? Christ's sake. Boy, that, I don't know why, but it really pisses me off. Not only that, but they seal it with a piece of faded gummy tape that you can't even prise open. So I gotta waste precious seconds trying to get this fucking piece of tape off this goofy looking cat and fur. 3-piece. 3 songs. T.P. Sprague. Tim Sprague? Tim Sprague? He was the first guy to ever get a decent review in my tape review column back before I was writing it. Not the Tim Sprague. Not the Tim Sprague. Wow. Huh, how do you like that? He was in one of the first bands I ever auditioned for. They were called the Mustache Girls, I think. Oh yes, those were the days. Back when I was in college. Irresponsible. Ed. I don't know. Can you blame me for not wanting to listen to some of these? Look at this. 4 songs. This looks like a Jesus freak. Well, I have nothing against them, but the music doesn't tend to live up to the billing. You'd think that Jesus would have disciples who wrote better songs, wouldn't you? Okay. Handwritten note from Tim Munganast. I'm enclosing my latest demo. Your review of my last demo was fun to read. It wasn't intended to be fun. With enough help, constructive criticism to help me get my lyrics together, get enough praise to let me know what I was doing right. Woof, woof. I can hardly wait to see what you think of my new stuff. I think you'll dig it. Thank you for your time. P.S. Long live Penguin Man. Who the hell is Penguin Man? Oh well. So, there's 3 songs here. Birth of Monsters. I think you already submitted that one. They're always trying to pull a fast one on you. C.T. Eliot. I already heard this one. This one was a good one. Too bad we can't listen to it, because I think you enjoy it. But there's no time. Let's see what we got here. Oh God. Oh God. These are the bottom of the barrel ones that I've been dreading. Now, if Tim hadn't have sealed up that fur demo, oh God, oh God. Yeah, no, I would have listened to that before this, but yep. You are going to get to listen to the bottom of the barrel of the demo offering. Let's see. RJCKEVA, Rick Eva? What the hell? Why can't this... Okay, Rick Eva. He's from Newport, Rhode Island, I can see. God, just what we need. Another Throwing Muses clone, right? Rick Eva has a... This is a biography, it's called. Rick Eva has a song that captivates and haunts the listener. That's one hell of an opening for a biography. His lyrics dig deep into the heart-posing, introspective, and thought-provoking questions to the audience. Huh? I'm gonna save this one. Eva's style creates a story fitting to the sound of blues and soft rock, but having a vocal edge that makes you feel. Newport, Rhode Island is where Rick grew up, influenced by the music of the great Newport Jazz and Blues festivals. Rick's inspiration from these and many other artists have led him to create an impressive eclectic song repertoire of over 100 songs copyrighted and another 100 in waiting. Yeah. This guy's got 200 songs. How many of them are good? Oh man. Oh man. I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking forward to this. Help me! Help! Help! Okay. Rick Eva. I'm going to quote big chunks of that press release in the review. You can be assured of that. Oh God. Now what? 3XL. Formerly Ape Hangers on A&M. They're on 3 movie soundtracks. They had wowed them in New York, now they're back in Boston. Dennis McCarthy of the Slaves. Well, might be okay. There's a definite hierarchical ranking of these things. Even the bottom, the slush pile. Has its ups and downs. Rick Eva calls his masterpiece Beyond the Mundane Lane. Gives you probably an idea of what the damn thing's going to sound like. Oh, great. Just what I need, another one of these things which are sealed up. Don't fucking seal these things. Don't you understand? Nobody likes to spend half an hour trying to open one of these goddamn things. What do you think is going to happen? The post office is going to crack it open and give it a listen and jeer at you? Just don't bother sealing them. It just tempts us to sell them. Get a better price for them. Of course, no one would buy a piece of shit like, well, they might, but, oh no. Sharon and Betancourt. Is this the Sharon that I think it is? Please let it not be. I don't want people like that sending me tapes. Partners in attitude, partners in vision, partners in song. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh no. He's been singing since his glee club years in elementary school. Both Greg and John grew up in musical families and are the third set of Sharon Betancourt brothers to collaborate musically. Gary Sharon and Nuno Betancourt are the songwriting team of Extreme. Marcus Sharon and Paul Betancourt for Flesh. Greg and John are currently playing colleges and other small club and coffee house venues. Oh God, no, no, no! I don't want to hear this. I don't want to listen to this. I don't even want to look at it. Oh God, no, no! The youngest kid brothers of a bunch of fucking hacks sending this crap in, expecting that I'll be impressed by their goddamn brother's name or something. Why do I get this stuff? Why? Why do they afflict me? I should just throw this in the trash and pretend like I never got it. That's what I should do. But I do review everything that comes in. And, you know, it's just really too bad that so many people send in crap to waste my time. You know, this is like a rock and roll magazine. They send us folk music. I don't mind folk music. But these vanity projects that we get. 3 songs. In My Life, Crunchy Granola, and Do You Know My Name? Is there something arrogant about titling a 3-song demo? But people do it. We got a big fat press release. They spend more time on the press release than they do on these on the actual EP, like Jump Rope, for example. Thick, wallet-sized press release, thin, very thin music. Now let's see. What I like are the bands that like try to claim some sort of connection to the bands they admire, even though they don't really have any connection. Craving Orange is an up-and-coming band on the Boston scene. That's a pretty scintillating opener. Okay. 1995, their second tape got them Tape of the Month, Top 20 in the Noise. That was me. Oops, I wasn't supposed to tell you who I wrote for. So, 4 songs by Craving Orange. Well, they probably were pretty good if I liked them. So far, we've got what will probably be oh, I don't know, 3 good tapes. Now, I'm not saying that credentials are necessarily all bad. You sometimes can tell if a band has people who are good in other bands, then usually they'll be good in their new band too. Maybe even better. I tend to be a real nostalgic son of a bitch. I generally like the old bands better than the new ones that they eventually become. Like, I like Uzi better than I like Cum. I like Anastasia Scream better than I like Scarce. And so forth. I like the Beatles better than I like Wings. And again, who doesn't? You hear that little grunting noise that people make sometimes when they're eating? It's like a... Trouble is, when you get to be my age, oats sort of stick to your teeth. Finally, the last one. Look at this press release. You use it to kill flies. Do I have to review this? I mean, are these people even from around here? Ryan Landry started his performance career in the mid-1980s hosting benefits for ACT UP. God, like, I need to know this? What does this have to do with the music? I'm sure they're all very politically correct and stuff. Space Pussy Claus, it's way on up. Oh, Provincetown, okay. Provincetown is really just an adjunct of Florida and New York City. It's not really officially a part of Massachusetts. The Daily Hampshire Gazette, Northampton, Mass. What the hell, where are these people from? Provincetown, Northampton, what? Queer moshing. Never mind Sandra Bullock, here's Space Pussy. Fag, drag, dyke, straight, rock and roll band. Oh God, oh God. Oh, they regularly play New York with Fur. So, here's what happened. Tim Sprague, who's in Fur, said, "Hey, I know somewhere you can send your tape. It'll get reviewed. The guy's a pal of mine." They probably make their home in Provincetown, Massachusetts. Okay. So that means I've sort of got to review it because they're from Provincetown. Instead of just tossing it in the hopper. Okay. Fascinating. You know, I should have been doing all this while the music was actually playing. But, well, we all make mistakes. I'm going to take a break. Be right back. Hi, I'm back. Well, I don't know if we're going to get to all these today, but I'll give it my best shot. And the first ones, I haven't mentioned them yet. I was supposed to have done them before, but ran out of time. Every time I get up here, I push this thing out a little further. It's going to collapse one of these days. And my girlfriend will be really mad. The first band is called Little A. One of them used to be in the Well Babies, which is already sort of intense, makes me feel kindly towards them. So they've got that added advantage. They've actually sent 2 tapes. One has 3 songs, and the other one has 1 song called the Massachusetts State Song. The 3-song tape has Apology, The Waiting Song, and Creep. So, without much further ado, I'm going to listen to this and give you my running
We'll have for the most part.
And we'll see what happens. I got to turn this down so you can hear me talk over it. which I intend to do, since it's kind of boring just listening to these songs. Don't I know it? Well, so, here we go. Okay. We got a little Mission of Burma action here. Looks like. Nice, very nice. Sort of like the Velvet Underground, you know. And Apology has a nice intense VU feel of Jesus or ocean or some such. Yeah, it's really nice, kind of mellow, you know, not exactly cutting edge or anything like that, but twill serve, not so big as a barn door. Now I was thinking, I saw The Man with the Golden Arm with Frank Sinatra, bless his soul, and I don't know, the characters in that film were a lot more appealing to me than I think they were intended to be, especially the little rat-faced, baseball cap-wearing, unshaven dog thief who was Frankie's sidekick during much of this, and the fact that his crippled girlfriend was named Zosh, which was kind of an odd little thing there. Life among the lower depths. Yeah, I'd say this one is very fine. But I don't know. This project is ill-conceived, to say the least. I mean, I'm not going to be able to come up with enough running commentary to render this of interest to you. I have a feeling. So, I don't know what to do exactly. So I just give this one up? I mean, should I not even try to do this? It's funny, the reviews of these songs will appear about 4 days later in the Noise. So you're actually getting a preview of the tape review column. Of course, the crummier tapes tend to get pushed off until the next month. So you may actually get to hear some of these things reviewed over a month before they actually see print in the January issue of the Noise. So very fine, not too drawn out. At all. Very short. These guys know what they're doing. It's like they don't bore us with these ponderous 18-minute, here comes the ocean, Earth is a hollow head. You know, they don't get into that. Although that's a magnificent song. Ocean by the Velvet Underground. Actually by Lou Reed. It was on his first solo album, with members of Yes backing him up. Let's see. The Waiting Song continues in a subdued vein. In this subdued, almost half dreamy vein. You can because you know there's like hypnagogic states and hypnagogic states that the brain falls into just before you fall asleep and just after you wake up. I'm still in my just after you wake up state, although that jolt of stale coffee I had certainly helped a little bit in getting my engines going. Maybe a tad on the melodramatic side, wouldn't you say? The dogs are barking down the street. It could be because of the song, but I doubt it. They bark at anything. I also saw another movie. It was Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean. Apart from the obvious James Dean, Jason Priestley connection, it was an interesting thing to see 30 years down the road, 40 years down the road. What am I saying? You're tearing me apart! Yeah, I wish I had their damn problems, I'll tell you that much. Maybe I shouldn't wish that on myself, or on anyone. But you know, if Marilyn Monroe was the Virgin Mary, then James Dean is definitely the Christ figure, you know. And the little rat-faced guy in the Man with the Golden Arm even said, "Come on, fellas, don't let me betray my best friend. Don't crucify me like this." Very Christ-like element in both the films, which are on different channels at different times on the same day, and I watched them back to back. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. it was Rebel Without a Cause, and then great opening shot, by the way. Drunkenly looking at this little mechanical monkey. And then, of course, I'd already seen The Man with the Golden Arm, which, as you may know, is in black and white. And what you may not know is probably Otto Preminger's last really good film. After that, straight down to crapper with old Otto. I don't know what it is with him. I guess when you specialize in being controversial, there comes a point where you're just like going through the motions. Could be. This is nice, but it tends to go on a bit long. Also very fine, but perhaps a bit over lengthy, is my verdict. So, you know, obviously, these opinions are mine and mine alone. This is going to be so tough, you know. So tough keeping track of all this stuff, you know. So far I've got how many pages here? Geez my knees. 2, 4, 6, 7 pages, with at least another 2 or 3 more to go. I'll tell you, this is a very time-consuming occupation here. Well, the ones I don't finish today, I guess I can do over the weekend, hopefully. Just make a start getting some of them done. Okay, now, you know, the tape would have been great if this were the only other song, but no, they gotta throw a third one. Yeah, they gotta throw a third song on here, of course. Not content. and I think this is the third song. Hard to tell though. Maybe it's just the end of the second song. Well, we'll find out soon enough. Okay, get to the point already. Creep has a moody, introspective bass underpinning. My God, I'm such a hack. I don't know, this direction that the band's taking, it's kind of soothing songs for baby, you know what I mean? Ew. You know, if I so much as stop to take a crap here, I'm not gonna be able to finish all these things, all these tapes that I'm supposed to be doing today. I mean, all these videotapes. There's just no way. I mean, I gotta be at work at 1 o'clock. It's 9:45. This one's got another 45 minutes to go. There's another one I have to process, and there's another one that needs to have an hour and 40 minutes put on it. I don't see where I'm going to have the time. 10:30, 11:30? No. 12:10 I'll finish by, in the best case scenario. I'll finish by exactly 12:30, then I'll have to get to work. Where's the time to take a crap that I'm going to so desperately need? Of course, I could just like, oh, this is a real sweetheart. What exactly, how exactly would you characterize this? I want to like this more than I do. The ominous air they attempt to convey is not entirely convincing. I feel like just any old crap, really. But I try to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That plucky, popping bass. Who even has the time to rewind these things? Not me. Oh. Yeah. Oops. That sort of reminds me of that, feel things going through my head. Don't know why, but I wanna die. Feel things going through my head. Don't know why, I'm feeling like I wanna die. Feel things going through my head. Don't know why, but I wanna go. Yes, Jim Doherty. He's actually the drummer from the Well Babies. Now, when the drummer does something, a solo project or an offshoot project, you know, people say, "Oh, so what? He's just the fucking drummer, for Christ's sake." But Jim's a good guy. Not that that makes his music any more worthy of consideration. Well, this is charming. The Mass State song, All Hail to Massachusetts, is a goofy, Rounders-esque accordion-slathered novelty tune with so little in the way of seriousness to balance what is obviously a loving parody that it comes across as basically ephemeral. Still, top-flight stuff overall from the three-song demo, and this is a nice little nightcap. Let's just say nightcap. I'll go back and fix it later. How many stars do I give it? 4.5, I think, which puts it in the top rank of the demos, which isn't saying an awful lot since they are demos. So, let's see, we should tackle Rick Ava. This should be good for a larf. You know, I actually like Tim Munganast. I mean, these things I'm saying about these people, I actually have, like, speaking relationships with a lot of these folks, and I'd hate for any of them to think that I was, like, making a total hash of their artistic ambition simply because I am so pressed for time and so bereft of original material that I am forced into this uncomfortable position. But I just want you folks to know what it's like to, like, have to do this on an ongoing basis. It's a lot of hard work, and you got to do it even when you don't feel like doing it, which I certainly don't feel like doing it now. I mean, there's many other things I could be doing, like going out and getting some groceries that I'm going to need to get. Oh man. 4 songs. This is downright painful. I mean, I could just, like, write the review right now. I don't know, is this guy an ordained minister or what? Let's see. quoting from the press release. Always a good thing to do when you don't know what else to do. Still quoting. He lists his influences as Newport Jazz and Blues, Janis Joplin, Aerosmith, and Motown, but a song like Maybe sounds like nothing so much as Out in the Country, covered by Three Dog Night. Now, when was that a big hit anyway? I can look that up. It's important to get these dates right. You know, rock and roll is like a religion. And it would be like quoting John 7:27 and getting it wrong, you know. You gotta get these dates right. So, my indispensable guide is the Billboard Book of Top 40 Hits. I can look it up by the title, confirm that it was Three Dog Night, maybe even get some additional information. Out in the Country, Three Dog Night. Number 15 for the year 1970. Okay. 1970. Wow. I wasn't even on Aquidneck Island in 1970. Oh well. But it had some afterglow, you know. Toss in Bobby Sherman. Who was the other big? Oh, Bobby Sherman and other quasi bubblegum pop with Little Soup Song of George Benson. And you got this easy listening fodder that mostly leaves me cold. Pass. You know, I really should listen to the other side, but maybe I'll take a short break while I do so. But there's no time. I'd like to, you know. What to do. I really don't know what to do. You know, I'd love to take a crap, but I just don't have the time. See? Oh man, what is this? Okay, I haven't finished dumping on this one yet. That's for sure. Now if he had just stopped it right here, right, it might have been okay. I might have had mercy on him. This song just like Maniac by Michael Zambullo. So now I gotta look that up. See, I don't just spring these things out of my head. I mean, I'm not an encyclopedia, but I got some boys on my staff who are. Let's see. This is gonna be like maybe the worst wrong hero ever, you know, because most of this is just being spent like watching me write my comments about this. I mean, you know, it's an interesting archival exercise. You know, I'll look at this 40 years from now and laugh at my impertinence and my total unwillingness to give any real thought or consideration to the needs of the audience. Well, I don't know, some of you may like the song. Maybe I should like play a couple of good songs just to keep your interest from waning. Maniac, is that even in here? That might be a little too contemporary because this is an old one. Pat McGrath sold me the newer one. It's just as I feared. What is it called? She's a Maniac. Maybe I should look it up by Sembulo, whatever the hell his name is. Nope. Jeez. Rise seems to take its rough edges from Maneater by Hall & Oates or Maniac by Michael Cimbullo. Cimbello? I don't know how to spell his name. Let's see if I have the newer one. Patty McGrath. Oh, if only I had the new one. Well, maybe it's in here. The Billboard Book of #1 hits. Not likely, though. 1984, it should be in here if it was #1, and it might have been. March, Little Peggy. I Will Follow Him. Cimbello. That thing, yep, Cimbello. Michael. 576. Okay. Rise seems to take its rough edges from Maneater by Hall & Oates or Maniac by Michael Cimbello, originally a slasher anthem intended for a gore flick. Verdict? Good melodic sense. But he has a good melodic sense, but he desperately needs an even better editor. Three stars. What the hell? This is a bit of fluff, though. I mean, it's just a whole lot of nothing, basically. You can see how these press releases can tend to make you resent people, and that's why it's very careful not to make too many arrogant claims for your, greatness in these things, unless it's so totally tongue-in-cheek that even a chimp would grasp its obviousness. Anyway, that was most fortunate. Michael Cimbello's #1 hit. You know, this is, at this point, I should probably just turn this miserable tape off and go on to the next one, right? That's not how Homie does that. Homie don't play that. Homie listens to every single note, even if he's washing the dishes or taking a crap while doing it, or opening a can of Folgers mountain-grown coffee. Like, all coffee isn't basically grown on mountains, you know? Where they grow it in cranberry? The other people grow it in cranberry bogs, right? But not Folgers, no sir. The wealthy but somewhat eccentric Folgers family chooses only the finest mountaintops on which to grow their cava. Let's see. How do you... I can't get the coffee open! Wah! Let's see, how does this work? Counterclockwise or clockwise? Where the sky is free. as for where the sky is free, I wasn't aware of there being places where the sky is held in involuntary servitude, but I would be eager to be informed if this were the case. Alright, so much for that. I hope this guy really isn't a minister and calls down the wrath of the angry gods upon my head. Now, can I leave you unsupervised? I don't know. I mean, this is pretty tedious as it is. We've only gone through, like, what, 3 tapes here. And you can see what kind of a job this is. I thought maybe I'd be able to zap through all of them. But, hi there, says Perky Jason. So we'll listen to Jason here. Okay, Jace, second skin and closure. Well, he has the good sense to only include a single, which of course is 2 songs, paradoxically enough. I haven't really been giving very good reviews to Hybrid Minds products in the past. Let's see, Jason, second skin, closure.
Someone else to love. How do you
I think I'm going to dock this guy to 2.5 stars. He should have stopped at 2, you know.
never look back? Walk away in silence. What if I cried? Would you leave the view?
See, I'm the only guy that really writes, like, critical reviews, you know? I mean, the other guys all write puff pieces, or they just, like, you know, say this stinks, and the big mainstream outlets don't even review demos, or if they do, it's, like, always of big stars and stuff. They don't bother with the small fry over much. So, I'm the only guy out there, basically, and I take my responsibilities very seriously, as you can see. And I thought maybe I'd just try to give you a little window into my world so that you could, as a matter of fact, fall into my world. So when I listen to Jason for a minute while I make myself some coffee, maybe I can shout my running commentary from the kitchen, much to the inevitable discomfiture of the neighbors. Well, I don't know. I haven't really had a chance to think too much about this, but solo offshoot of hybrid lines gives us a pair of undernourished ballads. The first of which, a yodel fest, seemingly devoid of any purpose other than the expression of yelping angst.
That I've relied on from afar and drifting farther, clinging on as time stood still. Now you are gone. I feel the chill, and it goes. And it goes on, it goes on.
The second, an introspective, that word again, diary jotting, is warm is the blanket that I've relied on. Jason, reality check. Your pain isn't that interesting to begin with. Isn't that interesting to us to begin with? Nor does the morbidly stripped down acousticism
You can rely on devices broken by
of a song generate much.
and as you go, and as you go, it goes on.
Much fascination.
And it goes, and it goes, it goes
Give it 2.5 stars.
and it goes on.
Well, we still got quite a bit to go here. Look at this, but we don't have enough time to do all these, nor do I. But I might be able to, 6, 7, this is a manageable number, just barely. 10 tapes.
Time is standing still for no
I might be able to do something with these. We'll probably get through about 1 or 2 more. Red, Ravage, 5 songs.
time is slowly building distance between us, and it goes on.
Maybe it would be best if I just picked singles. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I know. This definitely got to do this one. Because I know I'm going to hate it. Sharon and Betancourt. I just know I am not going to like this. you get this very second sense from the arrogance. But first you got to do Space Pussy. I mean, there's just no way we can avoid it. So we've got to do it, right? Because why do they have to give these elaborate demos? I mean, I would be willing to listen to this solely on its merits if they didn't make such a big case for themselves being worthy of special attention because of where they're from, who they are, the subject matter of their songs. Ooh, it looks like Tim has already listened to this one. You know what that means? That means I can't just write it off. I've got to actually listen very carefully to it and point out the innumerable flaws. See, Tim, he's the publisher of the noise. He knows that there's certain things that really get my goat, and this is one of them. So he always listens to the things that he thinks might be a problem. If it were up to Tim, I have a feeling that virtually every review would be a positive one, but that's where we disagree. I mean, the positive reviews don't carry any weight whatsoever unless there are negative ones to counterbalance them. But if it were up to Tim, he wouldn't even print anything that was less than mediocre. Any review that was less than, say, 3 stars, which is why I delight in the 2.5 stars. Okay. A little bit of goth rock with some metal. This isn't as bad as I thought it would be. I actually kind of like this. Didn't I say that I just knew I was going to hate this? This goes to show. Can't judge a band by its demo. But usually, I might have to give this a song of the month here. Much better than I thought it would be. But I guess I'm just a sucker for this kind of thing. Now I gotta look through here and see who's gonna get what in the way of tape of the month, song of the month. Yes, this is almost certainly going to have to be Song of the Month. In fact, I think I'll give this the lead slot. The much coveted lead slot. pumping with fun-loving energy. Okay, that wasn't so hard. Side B, apart from its glad to be gay sentiment, sounds like the MC5 on some hitherto undiscovered psychedelic. And the interpolated film review is gravy. Morgan Fairchild's Song of the Month for December, a classic, which it is, and it's a good song. Gotta give credit where credit's due. In spite of the, maybe I should give the contact number too, just for the hell of it. Because I generally do that. If I like a tape enough, I want to see I want to throw some business their way, right? So that's the way to do it. So this is Song of the Month, and Acrylic has a Song of the Month, and Rootlock is Tape of the Month, and C.T. Elliott is Tape of the Month. So, let's see, it's either do Sharon and Betancourt, which I hate, or Fur, which I'm probably going to like a great deal, because they're old cronies of mine. If, in fact, that is the Tim Sprague, and not, well, I'll be able to tell almost instantly. Let's see, the Fur has 3 songs, and this has 3 songs. I'm going to do something I like. I'm going to go for what I like. Okay, Fur, 3-piece. Far Cry, Junkman, and Big Brooklyn. I have a feeling I've heard one of these songs before. So, let's give it a shot. I suppose I should be writing the thing for it. Yep, still more of this garage type stuff. I don't know if this is the same guy. Yeah, it probably is. Yep. Geez, I forget what the name of his other band was. Yeah, that's him alright. Gee, I wish I could remember the name of his last band. Oh well, I'll look it up. Well, I can't give this a tape of the month, song of the month, but I can like stick it in the prestigious cleanup #5 slot. Comeback of the year. You know, I can't be 100% sure this is the same guy, but I'm reasonably sure it is. See, now Tim, he wasn't much of a guitar player back when I knew him. He was basically a vocalist. But, you know, he eventually decided he didn't want to be a vocalist for the rest of his life, and so, you know, he picked up some guitar. Seems to be doing a good job here. Well, time to write the title. This is about as good a way to go out on this tape as any. You have been listening to the Wrong Heroes presentation of Urban Idiot, and I know this hasn't perhaps been the most scintillating program that I've done, although I guess the first 23 minutes were shot live at the Middle East on January 7th of 1996, and thereby creating a justification. I've been sitting on this footage ever since. Now, next week we're going to have a private show that we shot at my former apartment in Central Square called Glory Road. It's 2 hours of crazy fun, and of course 2 hours means that I'm not the only one doing the talking. I mean, the party guests also chimed in from time to time. It really is just a big, good-natured party. And that's next week on Cafe Cabaret, Tuesday, 9 p.m., Channel 55. That's December 10th. And on December 17th, we have The Wrong Hero live at Stone Soup with a 23-minute performance. Plus, afterwards, we'll be doing some new material. And it's called The Lousy American Novel. So, you haven't tuned to The Wrong Hero. This has been Urban Idiot. I suppose I should actually fix this on the wall. Right now you're listening to Fur. Thank you for tuning in. Tune in next week. We got a great show next week. 2 hours of mania. Sheer, unadulterated mania.